What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend, and as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I feel like I literally just talked to you guys because I uploaded on Friday last week, and we are already on Tuesday because time flies when you're having fun, but you know what? It is all good. We are back on schedule, back to our regularly scheduled programming, and I couldn't be happier. We have a lot of things to chat about this week, a lot of pop culture things to dive into. But before that, I need to address the non-visual elephant in the room because to all of my YouTube girlies, I apologize. We are audio only this week. I moved over the weekend. The apartment is just like not quite podcast ready yet. She's almost there. I would say she's like 95% there. I just think I need to get some new equipment and like some new lighting situations because of the situation in which I want to record the podcast in going forward. But I have a really cute backdrop that I want to do for the podcast, and I'm really excited for it. So by next week, whether that is set up or not, I'm going to have video next week for sure. But I promise you, the backdrop is going to be so freaking cute when it is all set up, and I cannot wait. So give me like a week or so to work out those kinks. But next week we will have some type of video, whether it's in that spot or not. I promise you, I'm giving you my pinky. If we were on video, you could see it, but I am raising my pinky, giving you a pinky promise right now. That being said, I did move over the weekend. Everything went off without a hitch, thank God. I love the new apartment. She is gorgeous. She is beautiful. I'm obsessed. I literally am like, I'm so excited to get home after work every day and be like, oh, this is my apartment. Like, it's so exciting. It's like a fun new chapter. I cannot wait. And part of why I am so excited is because the move went off so smoothly. So if anybody is in the New York City area, I cannot recommend Piece of Cake Moving enough. They were fabulous. They literally handled all of our furniture so delicately. They wrapped our things up better than the furniture store delivered them to us. Like, they wrapped everything so fast. They wrapped everything so well. They moved everything so well. Like, they were literally early for their appointment. They gave us a 3-hour window when they would show up, and they showed up 15 minutes early. I was like, oh, I'm already obsessed. I was like, thank God, because there's nothing worse than like getting a window for like an appointment or something, or like, something to show up and it coming at like the final window of the appointment. When they called us at 12:45 for their 1 o'clock appointment, they're like, hey, we're outside whenever you're ready. I was like, I could kiss the ground you're walking on. I'm not going to because it's in Manhattan, but theoretically, I would kiss the ground that these movers walked on. But yes, I cannot recommend them enough. And if you are moving in the New York City area and would like to save some money on your move, because moving is fucking expensive. Like, I feel like nobody really talks about how expensive it is to move between like signing your new lease and, the security deposit, first month's rent, getting the movers, getting everything packed. Like, moving boxes, why are moving boxes so expensive? I was like, why am I literally paying an arm and a leg for cardboard boxes that I'm going to throw out? That being said, if you would like to save some money on your move, because I know everybody likes to save a little bit of money, you can head to mypieceofcakemove.com and use code 2POP to handle at checkout. Trust me, just save yourself some coin. You're welcome in advance. And that being said, let's dive into some pop culture moments from the week that were just too pop to handle. And we are going to start off these rapid fire moments by taking out the trash because Diddy has been arrested for sex trafficking, racketeering, and the transportation of prostitution. Now, I know what I said last week. I will not talk about Diddy again unless it is my mess of the week, but this just I felt like I needed to close the loop on last week's mess. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, I was talking about how there is now another court case being brought forward from a member of Danity Kane. And as of, I believe it was yesterday, on Monday, it was announced that he is in custody and he went to court today. He is going to be facing a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison and a maximum of life. So pretty much he's fucked. He's either getting locked up for 15 years or to life, somewhere in that span. Regardless, I don't think there's long enough time to have this man locked up for the shit that he has done. And like, we don't even know the half of it. I feel like they're still uncovering so much. They found so many documents. They found so much shit in his house. They literally found 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil in his mansion. They found 3 AR-15s. They found narcotics. Like, just like the things that are about to come out about this man, it was already bad. And it's somehow going to get a lot darker than it already was. And it's just like, it's a big day for the Fuck P. Diddy fan club, which I feel like is hopefully everybody because like there's just not a redeeming quality for this man. Aubrey O'Day also came out and talked to TMZ, which she's been like riding the Fuck P. Diddy train, I feel like, forever. She said, I never thought I would see this day, talking about him getting in custody. We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going, and not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We are all processing what type of vindication can actually feel like now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond moving on all levels. So I'm so glad that she is finally speaking up. Like I said, she's been riding this like fuck P. Diddy train forever. She's been like riding the forefront, and between like her, Cassie, all the other girls from Danity Kane, and just like everybody else who's been involved, we don't even know the half of it. And clearly there's like other victims who haven't come forward yet. And now I hope like with everything going on with him, they will feel comfortable to come forward and just like get this man locked up for life. The shit that he has done and like the things that they found in his house, like I said, like it is just like, come on. Like if you're going to be a shitty person, you deserve shitty things to happen to you. And I'm very happy to see that justice is finally getting to be served and all of these victims will be able to have their peace and know that, like, hey, we're looking out for you. Sorry it took so long because, like, what the fuck? But you know what it is. That's the justice system, unfortunately. But hopefully the outcome is life or like close to it because, like, fuck P. Diddy. Just insane. Oh my God. Speaking of fuck P. Diddy, Kesha literally went, I think, like 12 times platinum with TikTok today, which is just so funny because she's about to re-release the re-recording of TikTok and change the lyric to fuck P. Diddy. So it's just like a perfect day for TikTok to go 12 times platinum. We love to see it. And the last little piece of trash that we're going to take out this week, I hate to do it, but we're going to talk about Donald Trump and Scooter Braun, but it is in relation to Taylor Swift. So, you know, it does have that little two pop to handle cushion on it. And obviously, we're talking highly about Taylor in the situation. But if you did not see, which I don't know how you wouldn't because it has been everywhere, it has been a crazy fucking weekend in the world of Taylor Swift and Donald Trump and all of that. First and foremost, he released a fake Eras Tour shirt after she endorsed Kamala, excuse me, and it's literally like Donald Trump Eras Tour. Like it looks like the Eras Tour poster, just stupid. He acts like a giant child because that's what he is. He's like a giant man child. And like I thought the merch was bad and then it just kept getting worse. He then went on his social media platform and posted in all caps, I hate Taylor Swift, which is just like an insane thing for a grown man to post about a pop star. All she did was endorse Kamala Harris and like it's just like, dude, come on. Like, what about this like concept of a plan that you have? Maybe you should go like figure that out and like get that set in stone as you're trying to like run the country again. But clearly you're worried about bigger things, which is Taylor Swift. Just like fucking crazy. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier with Donald Trump posting, I hate Taylor Swift, Scooter Braun decides to chime in. He screenshotted Trump's post, put it on his Instagram story, and in a shocking turn of events, said, come on, Donald, shake it off. Kamala 2024. So I'm glad to see that he wasn't like doubling down on like the I hate Taylor Swift train because like I'm sure Scooter Braun has had some vile words about Taylor Swift, which like fuck Scooter Braun in the situation. But in this type of situation, I'm like, you know what? Thank you for using your platform for good and endorsing Kamala. I still hate your guts, but you know what? It is what it is. Thank you for not being an asshole for once in your life. And then it just kept getting fucking crazier. The official Donald Trump news account posted a photo of Taylor Swift crying and said something along the lines of like Taylor Swift has lost like millions of dollars since endorsing Donald Trump or endorsing Kamala Harris, something along those lines. Honestly, it was such bullshit and so stupid that I just like didn't even bother like fully reading the tweet because I was like, what the fuck? Like, is there nothing else you could be doing with your weekend than posting shit about Taylor Swift? And the worst part of the tweet isn't even what they said, which was false. I'm sure she hasn't lost any money. I'm sure she's just A-okay. She is say it with me now, billionaire with a B. So I'm sure she's A-okay. The photo that they posted of her crying was literally from when Ronan, who is the child who had cancer that she wrote the song about, when he passed away. So, like, to use that photo, whether you knew the context or not, and then to try to tie it to this political shit show that is the Donald Trump JD Vance campaign 2024 is just so wrong. And then it really broke my heart because Ronan's mom posted it and was like, is this real? This photo is literally about my son dying, and they're using it in this like campaign. And thankfully the tweet ended up getting taken down. So for once Elon Musk did something right, or whoever the community knows on Twitter did something right, because you know they tend to lean a little bit on the Trump train, unfortunately. So very happy to see that they took that down. But just like insane that they are like these grown men are letting Taylor Swift literally like upset them so much. I'm like, is there nothing better going on in your life? You are literally running for president. You're sitting behind your phone tweeting about Taylor Swift. Or not even tweeting because he's not even on the platform anymore. It's just so fucking insane. We are living in some type of simulation, and it's insane. Today is voter registration day when I'm recording it. When you're listening to it, it is not, but that does not change the fact that I am like begging you all to check your voter registration and make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure your friends are registered to vote. Make sure you know your polling place. Early voting is October 25th until November 3rd, I believe. And then election day is November 5th. So, like, there's no excuse not to vote. There is so much time. There's still time to register. Please register. Please urge your friends. And that being said, I am so happy to announce that Taylor Swift was clearly unbothered by all of this hoopla going on online because she showed up to the Chiefs game on Sunday night looking fucking gorgeous. Her style lately has been incredible. I don't know if she's working with a new stylist, if she's finally styling herself. I don't know what's going on, but everything she has been wearing for the past like 2 weeks has been incredible. I loved that t-shirt dress with the boots. Like, she just looked so good. I loved it. All of this going on online, and she shows up to this game looking fantastic, and then she goes out to a party after. The party was for Patrick Mahomes, which I don't love, and we talked about that last week, so if you want my take on the whole Brittany Mahomes Taylor Swift situation, go listen to last week's episode. But like I said, she endorsed Kamala. I will take it. Clearly she is not letting Trump get to her, which is fabulous, and we just love to see it. But just like a crazy sentence to even say that, like, Donald Trump posted "I hate Taylor Swift" and then posted a photo of her crying about a kid with cancer to try to like take her down. I, I cannot. But that being said, it is officially no longer garbage day. We have taken the trash out and we are moving on to some more lighthearted things. So, Mr. Barry Keoghan, you guys know I'm such a fan. I love him and Sabrina. They were apparently seen together over the weekend in New York City. They were like a blind item that went up. I try to not take blind items with too much, truth behind them, but this one said that they were seen together kissing and all over each other in New York. So, any sign that Sabrina and Barry's relationship is in good standings it's just fabulous to me. I love them. They are my favorite couple. But he was getting some negative press this weekend. So he was at TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival, and somebody asked him about his son and what's going on with his relationship there, because a lot of people have a lot to say about him being like an absent father, saying he's like never around his kid, which like, I get it. I understand that it's not the ideal situation for a father to not be around. But he said, I'll just say this. I didn't have a father figure growing up, so even my relationship with my son isn't quite of the normal father-son relationship because I don't have that figure to draw experience from and base it on. You don't need anything to draw from. Love is pure. And so I'm not on about that, but I'm on about the little stuff like teaching your son this or teaching your daughter that. And people took this and ran with it and went fucking insane. I understand not having a father figure isn't an excuse for not being the best dad in the world. Like, learn from your experiences, learn from your mistakes. But am I wrong for thinking he's not wrong for saying that? Like, he didn't have somebody to guide him and teach him things and show him how to act with a kid or show him what, like, maybe unconditional love is like. And, like, he's like trying his best, it seems. I don't know. Again, we don't know these people. I don't know the situation. I don't know what's going on with him and his child and his baby mama. Like, I don't know. But the way people are just like taking his words and freaking the fuck out, they're like, he's an absent father. He's a bad father. That's no excuse. I'm like, can everybody relax? He said he loves his kid. He's not saying, he doesn't love his kid. I'm sure he sees the kid. I'm sure he's good. Like, I'm just like, why is everybody up in arms over the fact that he's saying like, hey, I didn't have a normal situation growing up, so it was a little bit hard for me to be a parent because I didn't have a parent in my life growing up like that. I don't get why everyone's so up in arms over it. Like, I don't know. I understand people's concerns and like, obviously there's no excuse for being an absent father, and like, if you're not ready to have a kid, don't have kids. Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, he's owning his shit. He's not sitting there and acting like he's, father of the year and like posting photos of his kid that are actually sent to him from his ex-wife or ex-baby mama, whoever she is. Like, he's not sitting there and being like, I'm the champion dad. I'm the best. He's literally saying, he's like, I don't know how to be a father because I didn't have one. I love my kid and I'm there for him as I can be, but like, it's hard for me to know how to be a dad because I don't have that normal relationship with mine. So I don't know. I was like, I need to like step up in the Barry Keoghan defense squad and be like, everybody needs to relax and chill out because like, it is not It's not that deep. They're okay. I'm sure, I'm sure the kid is fine. I'm sure they're good. Moving right along into our next pop culture rapid fire moment, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. What the fuck is going on? I feel like I've talked about them every episode for the past 3 weeks, and every time I talk about them, I'm like, all right, we're gonna lay this to rest. There's nothing else to talk about. And then they just come back up. They were seen over the weekend out to brunch, holding hands and kissing with their kids, despite being in the middle of a divorce? Question mark. Like maybe they don't understand what divorce means. I don't know what's going on. They have some type of like toxic relationship draw to each other that is just giving like it's almost giving like Nate and Maddie in Euphoria. Like they can't quit each other. They keep going back to each other. They're bad for each other, but they can't leave each other alone type of situation. So they were spotted out at the Beverly Hills Hotel, which like if you're going to announce your divorce, right? If you're going to go public with your divorce after like having this giant triumphant get back together, like they were such an it couple when they were originally dating. It was people were so upset when they broke up because people loved them. Then when they get back together, everybody's celebrating them. And then they break up. Everyone's like, okay, like I guess Jennifer's not, it's not endgame. It is what it is. Announce their divorce. Jennifer has this whole like thing going on, her tour, her movie, you guys know the drill. Obviously, Ben Affleck isn't like the best guy ever either. To then be seen together again. Of all places, why do you pick the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel? Like there are so many other do you not have a house? Do you not have a home that you could go to and like see each other there? You chose to take your children out to brunch at the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel, holding hands and kissing while you are just like you just announced that you've been going through a divorce since April. Like they cannot quit each other. It is fucking crazy. When I saw that headline pop up over the weekend, I was like, there is no fucking way. I was not on my phone a lot because I was moving and I saw this pop up and I was like, I need to pause. I need to stop moving. I need to look at these photos because what the fuck is going on? Who knows? She got announced today that she'll be in a new Netflix rom-com next year. I think it's called Office Relationship or something along those lines. We're getting another Jennifer Lopez rom-com. Like I don't know. At this point, I kind of just am like, I kind of have to stand. Like, I'm just like, you know what, Jennifer? You're gonna do you. She is still Jenny from the block, and she is going to do whatever the fuck she wants. And as much as I'm urging her to like take a step back, pump the fucking brakes, clearly she is on a one-way path to the next project and to see Ben Affleck again. So you know what? I think at this point we need to just like wipe our hands clean of it and decide to stand because like girl's gonna do whatever the fuck she wants and she is going to do it proudly and like not give a fuck what anybody thinks, and for that you have to admire it. You know what I mean? Like you got to give her some credit where credit's due. I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship with Jennifer Lopez because I go through weeks where I'm like, you are doing the dumbest PR stunts possible, and then the next week I'm like, you know what, fuck it, do your fucking thing. Like I cannot. But this was such a wild headline to read after the weeks that we've had with them. Just fucking nuts. Moving on to a fun little update. I can't. Like, what is it gonna take for JLo and Ben Affleck to like completely call it quits? Like, are they actually getting a divorce? Are they back together? Like, I can't. But moving right along into a fun little update from a story that we covered a few weeks ago, the Billboard Best 25 Pop Stars of the 21st Century. So we have quite the update. We have 8 new people to chat about. So last time we spoke, we had gone through the honorable mentions and said that Katy Perry came in at number 25. I gave you guys my guesses for who's going to be on the list. Some of them are on the list. Some of them I'm like, am I fucking stupid? How did I not think about putting them on my list? So we're going to cover the new ones that are announced. We have 24 to 17. Coming in at number 24 is somebody that I mentioned on my episode, Ed Sheeran. Suburban moms are going to be blasting his music in their Jeeps until the day that they fucking die. So it's like a no-brainer. He would be on this list. I am not the biggest fan of Ed Sheeran, not because I don't think he's talented or because I don't like his music. I actually do like his music. I get bored. You guys know, I'm very much into like a pop girl. Like, give me choreography, give me a fun upbeat, which is just like not Ed Sheeran's thing. And like, That's fine. Not everything has to be for me. It is what it is. I understand the appeal, but like, you're not gonna find me covering an Ed Sheeran album on Too Pop to Handle. But you know what? I will give him flowers where flowers are due. The next person on our list is somebody where I'm like, how did I not think about mentioning him on my list? Number 23, Bad Bunny. I mean, like, no shit. As soon as they announced him as number 23, I was like, how did I not think of him? I really, it's because I lean pop girls, but Bad Bunny is like, not that he obviously he is not a girl, he is not a pop girl, but like he does bring, the beats, he has the production, he does his thing, and I can appreciate a Bad Bunny track every here and there. So very happy to see him on this list. Number 22 is somebody or somebody's plural, I should say, that I did predict on this list. It is One Direction. Like I said on my episode where I predicted it, they were such a pop culture moment. Like they were literally, people were going nuts over them. So it's a no-brainer that they were on this list. Number 21, somebody who has been hot in the press lately, Lil Wayne. Obviously last week he had the whole uproar with Nicki and he went on Instagram Live to talk about how he's upset that he's not on the doing the Super Bowl, and it is what it is. But Billboard, they are keeping a spot open for Lil Wayne, and he might not be doing the halftime show, but he is on their list of the 25 best pop stars. I mean, when he came onto the scene and like really started like ramping things up with Nicki and Drake, and like even before that, like the Carter album, like there's no shit that he's on this list. Like he was such a force to be dealt with when he was coming on the scene, and like all the things that he's done like with the artists he's worked with. So no shocker he's there. Again, somebody I'm surprised I didn't think of putting on the list, but that being said, I can't be perfect all the time. The next person was somebody that I did predict on the list, Mr. Bruno Mars. I mean, what's not to love? You know what I mean? Besides the fact that he beat Lord for the Grammy, but you know what? We already know the Grammys are rigged. It is what it is. He is such a star. He's such a performer. He has such a unique sound. Like, people go nuts over him, and I don't blame them. I love me some Bruno Mars. I think he is so talented. I think he absolutely deserves a spot on this list. He can dance, he can sing, he can do it all. No shocker there. Number 19, another group on the list is BTS. Not somebody that I predicted, but I'm not surprised to see them on this list. I mean, they are such a global phenomenon. People go fucking insane for them. It is kind of crazy that they literally were like taking over the world and like on top of every single chart, and people were like going nuts over them. And then they all literally had to go fight in the army. Like, I always think about the fact that like sometimes I'll stop and be like, where is BTS? Like, how come we haven't heard from them in a while? And then I'm like, oh my God, half of them are literally serving in the military right now because it's just something that they have to do. I don't really know I'm not into K-pop that deep. I love me some Blackpink, but like, other than that, again, girl groups. I'm a pop girl gay. So BTS was never like my thing, but I can appreciate why they are so big. But I'm pretty sure they should all be back by 2025. So I'm sure that comeback is going to be in fucking insane. And the girls are going to go nuts over it because they went nuts for them to begin with. So I'm sure nothing will change when they come back. Number 18 on this list, we have The Weeknd. He is somebody that I predicted as well. Again, no shocker. He's like the most streamed person on Spotify ever. I think he like will not release an album for a few years and still get like crazy numbers. People love him. He has hits. I don't really listen to him that often. I can admit that he's talented, but again, he's not a pop girl. Not really my thing, but it is what it is. Congratulations, Abel. I am so happy to see that you made it on this list. And then number 17 is somebody that I was gunning for, and I was like, if she is not on this list, I will riot. It is Shakira. Say what you want. She has been such a pillar in pop music, and just like, I mean, it's Shakira. She's literally referred to as like the queen of Latin music. She did the halftime show. Like, she is such a pillar in this sense. She got the video Vanguard of the VMAs. Like, this is a well-deserved spot on this list, and I am very happy to see that she is on this list. And it's also very interesting. She is the only girl on this list. Everybody else is female. I mean, Katy Perry's 25, but 24 to 18 are all men. So I'm like, okay, is 17 to number 1 going to be all women for the most part? Because like, that's how it is in my list. Like, I'm very happy to see that like Taylor, Beyonce, Miley, Ariana didn't get, the shitty end of the stick, and they're not on the bottom half, and they're definitely going to be, I mean, in my perfect world, they'll be in the top 15 to 10 spots, but we will see. This is such a fun little series that they're doing. It seems like they're releasing them at least 1 to 2 per week. I definitely did not record that episode 8 weeks ago, and there's already 8 new people out. So I will update you guys again when we have a good chunk of them. I'm really excited for the top 10. So we're a little bit away from that, but we will get there. Good things come to those who wait. I am very excited to see who ends up taking the top of this list. And of course, I will update you guys as we get new people. And moving right along into our next segment of the show, we have our Drew releases, which is typically all about music, but I'm going to throw in a little curveball this week. And we're going to talk about music and a book. Keyword a book, only one, nothing too crazy. I'm not the biggest reader, but I do love a celebrity memoir. And JoJo has released her memoir today, Over the Influence. I've been so excited for this book. She announced it a while ago, obviously, as you do. And I've been very, very excited for this to come out. So I downloaded it today on Audible, so I'm listening to it. I'm much more of an audiobook person. It's kind of like a long podcast, which is like one of my favorite mediums to consume. So I was so excited to find out that she was reading it herself. I find that when the author, especially for a memoir, reads the book themselves, it just adds such an extra edge to it. I mean, Jeanette McCurdy is like the perfect example. If you have not listened to her book, it's heartbreaking to hear it in her voice, but it really adds such a more personal situation. Obviously, with like Britney's book, I understood why she couldn't do the audiobook, but I think Michelle Williams did a fantastic job of really like encapsulating Britney's emotion and like really knew how to convey it in that sense. But that being said, JoJo's book did come out today. I'm only like 2 chapters in. I had a busy day at work, so I couldn't listen too much, and I really want to give it, its respected time. So hopefully by next week I will finish it. If not, I will cover I'll give like a recap of the book when I'm done with it. But if you did not know, that book came out today, and I'm very excited to read more of that. She went through like a very similar situation to Taylor Swift, where she had to re-record her music, and because she didn't own her masters, things like that. And I feel like it didn't get like a fraction of the coverage as Taylor does, which just makes sense. I mean, it's Taylor Swift. No offense, JoJo. Love you, bitch. Like, thank you for, giving us the bops that you have. But like, you can't Taylor Swift is going to get more news coverage than anybody in the fucking world. So I'm very excited to read, or listen to rather, what JoJo has to say about that experience and just like hear her side of it. And also she didn't have like, she had a kind of a difficult upbringing, and she's dealt with addiction and things like that. So just very excited to dive into this book, and I would give you guys my thoughts when I am done there. But shifting gears into some music releases, we'll chat about what came out last week and then what I'm looking forward to this week. We had Katy Perry and Doechii release I'm Him, He's Mine. We heard a little bit of it on the VMA stage when they performed together, and I was very excited for it because I fucking love Doechii. I love the song. I love the video. I thought the video they looked so good in it. The two of them just like the looks. I feel like this is what we've been waiting for Katy Perry. Like, she looked incredible. The song is so good. It's a perfect execution of the Crystal Water sample. Like, it is just such a good song. It's so fun. Doechii's verse kills it. I love when she flies in on the drone and like that green fur jacket. She's like holding on to the drone and just like lands in that man's lap and then like kills her verse. It's so good. I love the song. This is what I want from Katy Perry. I mean, if you've listened for a while, I liked Lifetimes a lot. I think that was such a better single than Woman's World. And I don't understand why Woman's World was the lead single. Like, I still am kind of trying to like do the math and figure out why she chose that as a lead single when the 2 follow-ups have been so much better. But that being said, the song is out. I am loving it. It is very, very good. And the next song that came out last week rather, was Tate McRae, It's Okay, I'm Okay. This is a fucking pop star. This song is incredible. The video is incredible. It's so fucking good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can we talk about how good she looks in the music video? Like, she is serving down. She looks insane. The whole video is basically paying homage to Britney, which last week I was saying, I was like, pretty much the red carpet at the VMAs was Tate McRae auditioning to play Britney. She wore the same outfit that Britney wore in 2001. That same night, or the night after, excuse me, she dropped the music video, and there's a lot of references to old Britney videos in it. Like, she is gunning for this Britney Spears biopic role harder than anybody. Who knows? I mean, obviously, we're so far out from finding out who's going to play Britney, and I don't really know the timeline of when that movie's going to come out, but she is definitely, she is marking her territory and saying, like, if this role can be mine, I am going to take it. But I love this song. I love the video. She is such a star. I fucking love her. And that about wraps up our releases from last week. Coming up this week, we have Katie's album finally. 143 drops on Friday. I feel like we've been waiting so long for this, especially with all like the controversy and the shit that she's gotten for this era. I'm very excited to see what she has in store. I feel like every single she's released has been better than the last, and like starting at Women's World, it was kind of a low bar thing, and I didn't hate Women's World. It's not necessarily a good song, but I didn't think it was the worst song I've ever heard. But Lifetimes and I'm His, He's Mine, it definitely is like light years better than it. So I'm hoping she pulls out some stops with this album. I am excited. I understand if you were not listening to it. I get it. I know there's a lot going on, but as a pop culture enthusiast, I need to listen to a Katy Perry album, so we will chat about that next week. And then we have a very exciting project coming out next week as well. Not on Friday, but on Monday, the 23rd, Christina Aguilera is releasing an EP that is a reimagined version of her hits to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of her self-titled debut album. The EP will feature stars like Sabrina Carpenter and Machine Gun Kelly, and it's pretty much, she said she is adding some old and some new. So she is, taking her old songs, reimagining them, adding some new things to them. And I am so excited for this. The fact that that album came out 25 years ago is fucking insane. I actually, once she announced it today, I was like, I have not listened to that album in longer than I would like to admit. So I put it on. And I feel like as a society, we do not talk about the fact that Christina Aguilera's debut single and the opening track on her debut album is Genie in a Bottle. Like, that is a killer lead single as your debut single and to open your album on your debut album. Not enough people talk about that. Obviously, the song went number one for a week. Like, the song got, like, I mean, it's Genie in a fucking bottle. It is a perfect pop song. But, like, I feel like it goes, like, under the wire that it was literally, like, her opening track on her debut album. Just incredible. I'm very excited for this EP. Obviously, I love Sabrina Carpenter. I am a fan of Machine Gun Kelly, and so I'm very excited to see what they have in store for that. So we will talk about that next week. And that wraps up our Drew releases for the week. Moving right into the main points of the show, we are talking about the Sweat Tour. It should come as a shock to nobody that I am over the moon excited for the Sweat Tour. Do I have tickets yet? No. Will I pay an arm and a leg to be there? Yes. This is the show I will not miss. I don't care if I go alone. I don't care if I sit last row. I don't care if I have to drop more than I would like to admit. I am not missing this tour, and not only because of Charli, but I have never in my life missed a Troye Sivan tour. I have been such a Troye stan since before he even had music out. I have his merch from when he was just a YouTuber, because I feel like a lot of people don't even remember that he started out on YouTube. There was like that whole thing going around where people were like, oh my god, who knew Troye Sivan started on YouTube? And I was like, all right, it's time to look into life insurance. This is fucking crazy. Oh, wait. Also, speaking about looking into life insurance, I saw a tweet or a TikTok comment the other day, and somebody didn't know that Harry Styles started in One Direction. And I was like, all right, we need to open up the fucking schools. We need to start teaching pop culture 101 in these fucking schools, because the fact that people think Harry Styles debuted as a solo artist just hurts my soul, especially knowing the impact and like craze that was all around One Direction. When I saw that comment, I was like, holy shit, I need to look into life insurance. I am getting so fucking old. But that being said, the Sweat Tour kicked off over the weekend and it is fucking insane. But before the tour even kicked off, there was a blind item going around. And like I said earlier, I don't usually try to lean into blind items, but it's more the response that we're going to talk about. So there was a blind item going around saying that the Sweat Tour pretty much what it didn't say the Sweat Tour exclusively, but it was very obvious that they were talking about the Sweat Tour. But they were saying that the tour wasn't selling well, and the label was mad at the two artists who were on the tour, which there's no other co-headlining tours going on right now. So that right away just gave it away who it was about. And they basically said that the artists are too busy partying to promote the tour, and one of the artists is only tagging along on the tour to check Grinder across the country. And I thought Troye Sivan's response was perfect. He pretty much was saying, he was like, the only show that isn't selling well is Nashville, and it's not even not selling that well, it's just like not sold out yet. And then he was like, you can't use the word twink in lieu of the F slur. You can't be like, oh, this twink, da da da, instead of saying the word faggot, which, sorry, I have the card, I have the limpy wrist to prove it, like I'm allowed to say the F slur. But like, he was like, you can't call me a twink when you want to say that word and get away with it, because it means the same thing. Like, you're still saying it with negative intent, so like, you might as well just say the word, but like with your chest, because we know what you're trying to say. You're not saying this in a positive light, which this is a whole nother conversation, like straight people diving into gay lingo and gay culture and like thinking it's just like fun, and they're like, well, I'm an ally, I can say it. Like, no, you can't. Like, but that's a conversation for another day. But he was like, I don't need to tour across the country and check Grindr to get laid. I can get laid wherever I want. The tour is selling fine. Like, this blind item is fucking stupid. And opening night and last night they were in Canada clearly show that they do not need to promote this tour anymore. The crowd was going wild. Both of the shows were completely packed out. Like, people were going fucking nuts at these shows, and they look insane. I mean, starting off with the set list, I think it is so genius the way they're doing it. I wasn't sure if they were going to go like set and then do a collab, like first is Troye, then Charli, and then do a mix together. But I'm very happy to see that they are doing a kind of like a combo and weaving in throughout the set. So it kind of gives you a breather throughout. Like, you can get Troye, then you get Charli, then you get Troye, like then they do it together. Like, I'm very glad they took that route, because you never know with co-headlining tours. Like, they could go either way. And I am thrilled. I think the set list is perfect, besides the fact that Spring Breakers wasn't on the set list originally, but she did replace it last night. So I'm hoping it is here to stay, because that is one of my favorite songs on Brat. So I'm very happy that she saw everybody bitching and moaning on Twitter and decided to add it last night. The stage is fucking insane. I mean, it's literally like a warehouse party. Like, this is for the gays, and I cannot fucking wait. It literally looks like you were in a Brooklyn warehouse. You just did drugs with a random person you've never met. You are only drinking a tequila or a vodka soda, and you are just having the best night of your life. They're like hanging on from rafters. They have a cage. Oh my God. The catwalk is literally elevated off the floor with a cage underneath, and they're like running through it with the dancers. They have like rafters on the side of the stage where they pop up and they're performing. They have these ropes that are all light up, hanging above them. Like, it is just so well done. The stage, the set list, everything is just like, oh my God, it is incredible. Like I said, I don't have tickets yet, but I will be there if it's the last thing I do. Also, we need to talk about like the camera work and the production in that sense, because they were doing such a fun little visual element with it. The way that they're like, you see like the cameraman following Troye backstage, and him and Charli like high five and hand off the show to each other. The way that like the Brat like tapestry almost like drops for Charli's entrance, the way Charli is like fully like playing with the camera throughout the show. It is so fucking good. I'm so excited. It's incredible. Like, it is literally, it's just a giant party. And like, I think anybody who was doubting that Charli could sell out these arenas and that, you know, having Troye come on the tour was a bad idea, I just think you guys like don't understand the lore behind all of it. And like not for nothing, I understand Charli has a lot of new eyes on her, and like maybe people don't understand that like Troye and Charli have been doing this music thing back and forth together for a while. I literally saw Charli come out at Troye's tour at Radio City Music Hall in 2018. Like, they have been doing this for a while. This is not the first time they are, you know, tangoing together and doing their thing. So definitely just like, I'm so happy to see that it is like going off so well received. People are loving it. People are doing it the right way. Like, people are partying. People are having fun. Like, God, it just looks so fucking good. Ugh, I cannot wait to do it. I also saw somebody call it the Gay Son Thought Daughter Tour, and I was cracking the fuck up. I was like, yeah, I cannot wait to sweat my ass off at the Gay Son Thought Daughter Tour. I can't wait. Like, nothing sounds better. The only thing that sucks is the New York City date is on a Monday night. So like, Tuesday is going to fucking suck. But you know what? It is worth it, because it's going to be so good. I cannot fucking wait. Moving right along into our next story from the week, we are talking about the Emmys. So obviously last week we talked about the Creative Art Emmys, but we had the regular Emmys. I guess I don't even know like how to call them differently, but we had the Emmys again this weekend. And it was what a show. So before the show even started, we had some fabulous red carpet moments, and my favorite red carpet moment of the entire night had to be Laverne Cox and Nava Mao from Baby Reindeer having their little like moment of trans beauty on the carpet. If you did not see this moment, please go look it up. They fully like saw each other and just like both teared up, almost started crying. Laverne Cox was the first trans person to get nominated for an Emmy. So after the success and like the hype of Baby Reindeer, to have this moment between the two of them was just so beautiful. The way they were like obsessed with each other. Laverne was like, I need to compose myself and not cry right now, but like, I am so proud of you. You could just tell that like this is a moment for the two of them that they're going to remember for for the rest of their life. And it somehow got better because not only did they have this beautiful moment of just like trans representation on the carpet, Nava was literally wearing a Gigi Good original. So if you don't know, Gigi Good was on season 12 of Drag Race. She was my favorite on the season. Fucking obsessed with her. I love her to death. And she just launched her own fashion brand, and she was dressed by Gigi Good on the red carpet. So Gigi just recently came out as trans, or I guess it's been like 2 years now since she came out and started her transition. And to just have like her have this moment with Laverne wearing Gigi Good on the carpet, and Gigi just launched this brand. Like, it was just such a beautiful moment of trans representation on the carpet, and I will celebrate any single time there is any type of trans representation anywhere in media, because I just fucking love it. Speaking of other things I loved on the red carpet, the moment that Io Adibri saw Reba McEntire and had that entire fangirl moment, you will never make me hate Io Adibri. Like, she is just fucking hysterical. That video of her seeing her on the carpet it was just so good. You could tell there was like, this was like a moment for her. Like, she was like, holy shit, this is literally Reba. And then the interview after, she was like, I was standing there trying not to sing the theme song in front of her because, like, I mean, who doesn't love the Reba theme song? It's a fucking bop. Loved that moment. Thought it was just fucking adorable. I loved it. And then this show began. And like I said last week, Dan and Eugene Levy were hosting it. So I was already sold. I think this was like a genius hosting decision for whoever decided to have them do it together, because everybody loves them. They are just hilarious together. Obviously, Eugene Levy has been in films for years. Dan Levy and him were fantastic as father and son duos on Schitt's Creek, and their chemistry, because they're related and have worked together so closely, is just so perfect. It's a no-brainer. Like, Dan Levy is one of my favorite people in the world. He's like genuinely one of, like, not to get cheesy, but like somebody I really look up to, and I just like adore him and admire everything he does. But their entire like exchange the entire night was just perfect. Like, they literally had that audience in the palm of their hand. Their punchlines, their jokes, their banter, their chemistry was perfect. It was so good. I loved the Schitt's Creek reunion at the end. I love the way that they did it with Andy Murphy talking about how they were like, oh, we're going to honor the star from Schitt's Creek. And obviously it was a bit talking about how she thought it was her. And then Catherine O'Hara walks out looking like the fucking queen she is. It was just like, it was a good night to be a Schitt's Creek and a Dan Levy fan. It was fantastic. That Schitt's Creek reunion, the second I saw it, I was like, oh, this is incredible. They did it at the Emmys in 2021 as well. They had a reunion, but obviously Dan and Eugene weren't hosting. It was perfectly done. And now we're going to get into what award shows are really all about, the awards. So Hacks was nominated for 16 awards, and they took home 3. They won Outstanding Comedy Series. Jean Smart won Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. It's her 3rd time winning this for this show. Very well deserved. If you have not watched Hacks, you are missing out. It is fucking perfection. It is literally one of the best shows on TV. And then they also won Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series. And the little bit that the writers did where they were like chit-chatting on stage and, you know, did their whole speech together, it was just perfect. It gave a nod to their writing on the show and like their sense of humor. And it was just like the perfect way to like have their moment on that stage, leave their mark, and like celebrate this win that is so well deserved. Season 3 of that show was fantastic, and I am so excited for season 4 to come out. If you are not already watching Hacks, start watching it now. The episodes are short. It deserves all of the wins. It is fantastic. We already talked about Baby Reindeer a bit, but they ended up winning a lot. They won Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series. Richard Gadd scored Outstanding Actor and Outstanding Writer in the category. Jessica Gunning won Best Supporting Actress, so they swept. I mean, obviously they had a huge year. I didn't watch Baby Reindeer. It is something that I do want to watch. I just never got around to it, but people loved it. I know there's a lot of some sensitive subjects in the show from what I understand, but they had such a moment this year. People were obsessed with the show, so I'm very happy to see that they got some wins. Next up, really like the main sweep of the night was Shogun. They had 25 nominations and they had 18 wins. They had Outstanding Casting for a Drama Series, Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Cinematography, Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series. I mean, to win 18 of your 25 nominations is incredible, so congratulations to the cast, to the crew, everybody involved with that show. This was clearly their year, and it was also the year of The Bear, which is really stirring up some controversy. And I have to say I agree. I said it last week as well, but like, how is The Bear considered a comedy series? I haven't even watched it, and I know for a fact that you were not laughing while you're watching The Bear. You were gripping your couch, riddled with anxiety, but I am not the Academy, so I don't really know how that works. I don't know who, nominates a show for drama versus comedy versus this versus that, but they had 23 nominations and they won 11 of them. So again, another like insane odd. Good for them. Jeremy Allen White, everybody's favorite hot rodent boyfriend, won Outstanding Lead in a Comedy Series. They won Outstanding Casting for a Comedy Series, Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series. Like I said, 11 wins out of 23 is incredible. I also thought it was so funny the way Eugene kind of leaned into it. He said The Bear is nominated for 23 Emmys tonight, making it the most nominated comedy in history. Now, I love the show. And I know some of you will be expecting us to make a joke about whether The Bear is really a comedy, but in the true spirit of The Bear, we will not be making any jokes. So clearly the Academy, the hosts, everybody knows that the show is not a comedy, and I think playing into the bit is really the best way to deal with negative feedback. They were already getting pushback because Jamie Lee Curtis won the week before at the Creative Art Emmys. They were already getting that pushback, so the fact that they were able to like take that headline, kind of flip the script, and put their spin on it, I thought that was so smart, and it kind of, it softened the blow of the fact that, Abbott Elementary won nothing, which we'll get into, but it is what it is. Congratulations to The Bear. You did your big one this year. Speaking of people who did their big ones, Alan Cumming is, for lack of a better word, coming for RuPaul's Drag Race Traitor Season 2. I mean, you guys know I was obsessed with it, so I'm so thrilled. They had 4 nominations and they won 2 of them. They won Outstanding Host for a Game Show, went to Alan Cumming, and then they beat Drag Race for Outstanding Competition Program. They literally, Drag Race had had those awards for years. Like consecutively, RuPaul won that award 8 years in a row. I forget how many years in a row Drag Race had won that award, but they dethroned these queens fucking quick. And you know what? They deserved it. Normally, I'd be rooting for the Drag Race girls, and I did love season 16. Side note, I hated what Nymphia and Plain Jane were wearing on the red carpet, which, if you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with Nymphia Wynn. So for me to not like something she's wearing just says something. But showing up to the Emmys with the two of them dressed like that, I'm kind of glad that they didn't win. But that being said, congratulations to the Traitors. Congratulations to Alan Cumming. I'm very excited for season 3. I will be tuning into that and we will be recapping it, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Moving on to another show that we love here at Too Pop to Handle. Only Murders in the Building had 21 Emmy nominations. A lot of it was for music or writing or costumes for certain episodes, so totally understandable, but they ended up winning 3. They won Outstanding Music Composition, Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics, and Outstanding Production Design. I love that show. I'm actually 2 episodes behind of the new season, but this new season is so good. I am loving it and I cannot wait to catch up. So congratulations to them for winning. We love to see that. But something we don't love to see is the fact that Abbott Elementary went home with 0 awards. Now, I might be biased, but I don't really care. This season of Abbott Elementary was questionably their best season yet, and the fact that they walked away from this night with 0 Emmys because The Bear was nominated as a fucking comedy just grinds my gears. If you know me, you know that I love Abbott Elementary with my entire being. I think it's one of the funniest, smartest, best written shows. I think the cast is perfect. I think they all are so well equipped in their roles. Not to say that they aren't well equipped and the writing and everything on The Bear isn't, and the other comedy shows. Obviously, it wasn't just The Bear's problem, but they won a lot and they are not making people laugh the way Quinta Brunson is making me laugh. So the fact that Abbott won nothing really hurt me again. Awards, do they really mean anything? No. At the end of the day, if you can enjoy and appreciate the art, that's what really matters. I don't think Quinta Brunson went home crying. I think she is A-okay. But, it hurt me. It really, it hurt my personal brand, but who am I? I am not part of the Academy. Maybe one day I will be, and I will riot for Quinta Brunson to win every single award possible. When I get into the Academy and I nominate Abbott Elementary for the drama series, for the comedy series, for best choreography, for best music composition, I will find any single way to get that show nominated for any possible award just because of how much I fucking love it. But that being said, I am not part of the Academy, so who gives a fuck what I say? That wraps up our Emmys conversations of the year. I actually did a whole write-up of everything that I'm going to be watching this fall over on my Substack. So if you're curious of what I'm going to be watching, because I'm definitely not going to recap every single thing I'm watching this season because we would have a whole hour-long podcast just about TV recaps. If you're wondering what I'm watching, and I'm going to do a lot of my recaps on Substack, make sure you head over there. I'll have the link down below, or it is just twopoptohandle.substack.com. But I dropped a list of everything I will be watching this fall, which is including Dancing with the Stars and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which are both back this week. Dancing with the Stars airs tonight, Tuesday night. So by the time you're listening to this, episode 1 is already out. And Real Housewives of Salt Lake City airs on Wednesday the 18th. So if you're listening to this on release day, it airs tonight. If you're listening to this anytime past release day, it is already out. I am so excited. I probably won't be recapping Dancing with the Stars every week on the podcast. Maybe I'll throw it in the newsletter, but Housewives of Salt Lake City, I will definitely be recapping to, whatever extent I feel necessary. Like I said, I'm watching a lot this year, so it's going to be hard to recap everything, but I will do my best. But very excited for TV to be coming back. I feel like this is like the best time of the year to be a TV girl and gay, because everything starts coming back, everything starts getting renewed or starting, new seasons, and I cannot wait for my fall lineup. So like I said, go check that out, but no TV recap this week because my shows have not started yet, and I'm going to hold on to any week I am not recapping too much TV, because there is going to be a lot. And that being said, since there is no TV recap, you know the drill. We have made it to the end of the show. It is time for my yes and my mess of the week. My yes being something I am loving, and my mess being something I am not loving. And my yes this week is something that when I said this headline, I was like, this is a diva in training, DIT. I am talking about the 8-year-old girl who took her mother's car, drove to Target, got herself a Frappuccino, and had herself a little Queen's Day out. Now, I understand. Obviously, somebody could have been seriously hurt with an 8-year-old driving. I get it. I am not saying that, I'm endorsing 8-year-olds stealing their mother's car, but the fact that this little girl got away with only hitting one mailbox made it 25 minutes. She drove 11 miles to Target, ordered herself a Frappuccino, and was walking around the Target store when the police found her. That is queen. That is diva. That is it girl behavior. I'm kind of obsessed. Now, it definitely is something to worry. How did she get the keys? How did she drive 11 miles to Target without hurting anybody? It is beyond me, but you know what? Good for you. She had her eyes on the prize, and the prize was a fucking Frappuccino, and I'm so glad they let her finish it. As soon as I saw that headline, I was like, this is my yes of the week. Nothing is going to top it. I will say a very close contender for my yes was Moo Dang, the baby hippo at that zoo in Thailand. I'm obsessed with her. I think she is everything. She is the moment. She is so cute. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you are seriously missing out. Go Google her. She is a queen. She is an icon. She is the moment. And between these two, I'm just having such queen energy and behavior this week. We love to see it. We just love to see queens thriving, whether it's a baby hippo or an 8-year-old driving herself to Target to get a Frappuccino. And switching gears over to my mess for the week. Did you guys see that Miley Cyrus is being sued over flowers being so close to Bruno Mars's When I Was Your Man? So it came out today that Tempo Music Investments is claiming that Flowers includes unauthorized exploitation of several elements of Bruno Mars's 2013 piano-driven ballad, When I Was Your Man. The suit also names Sony Music Publishing, Apple, Target, Walmart, and several other companies as defendants accused of distributing Flowers. So, I mean, does the song have references to Bruno Mars's song? Yes. The song also came out almost 2 years ago, and it's not even Bruno Mars suing her. I just feel like this is such loser behavior, and I hate to even paint this in a negative light, but it kind of gives me the vibes of when Taylor Swift went after Olivia Rodrigo for Deja Vu sounding like Cruel Summer. Was it Deja Vu? I'm pretty sure it was Deja Vu. There was one Olivia Rodrigo song on her first album, and Taylor Swift was they went after saying it was an interpolation of her song. And then the same thing with Paramore with Olivia Rodrigo. They were oh, this sounds just like our song. You have to give us credit for it. And in that sense, it was the artist, and it doesn't make it better, but at least the artist is having a backbone and doing it. This is a music company or some shit going after Miley almost 2 years after the song comes out. So they said that Tempo owns a percentage of the U.S. copyrights to Mars's song, which it acquired from co-writer Philip Lawrence. Mars, along with co-writers Ari Levine and Andrew Wyatt, are not named as plaintiffs in the suit. So, clearly the writers and Bruno Mars don't give a fuck and, probably love the fact that Miley had such success over something that was like taken from their song. It's just the fact that like, why are they going after her almost 2 years after this song came out? Like, it just feels weird. If it sounds like they're trying to get a quick cash grab out of my girl Miley, and I am not having it. You guys know I am the leader of the Miley Cyrus defense squad, and this does not sit right with me. So as soon as I saw it this morning, it had to be my mess because, like I said, don't come for Miley. Like, let her have her flowers, let her do her thing, and get over it. The song is old. It's not even your song. Like, it's not even Bruno Mars suing her for it. He's not even listed. Why do you care? I don't know. The music industry is full of slimy, snaky people, but that being said, we have made it to the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. Like I said, I promise I will have a YouTube video element again next week. I just needed a week to, get my life and my apartment together. But if you are listening to us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you leave us a rating, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you're thinking. I would love to hear from you guys. If you were not already following us on social media, we are at Too Pop to Handle across all socials. I am at Andrew Nucatola across all socials. If you would like to follow me, I am always yapping, and an hour-long podcast just isn't enough. So make sure you sign up for my weekly newsletter popping in. It is over on my Substack at twopoptohandle.substack.com. I'm giving you an extra little dose of Too Pop to Handle every single week, and it's just like the things that kind of like overflowed from my cup from the week that are just like things that didn't fit into the podcast, but I still wanted to tell you guys about. So go subscribe. It'll hit your inbox every single weekend. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Bye.